Hi, everybody. It's Ruth Ann Osborne. Thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast today. And I'm very excited because we are at Kingsville Community Centre. I'm with Kim DeYong.
Yes,
She's young, not old.
that's right.
And we're going to talk a little bit about what you do here out in Kingsville and how you help with the seniors and just the community in general.
Yeah, the Kingsville, just a little bit about what we do, who we are. The Kingsville Community Centre is a designated senior active living center. That's a provincial designation, and it allows us to provide programming, offer events and services to older adults and adults with disabilities. And we are open to people across the region. You don't have to live in Kingsville to come here. And we operate out of 7 different locations now. So it's really great. We have stuff going on all over town.
Wow, 7 different locations. That's amazing. That's amazing. You know what? Last year at the Seniors Expo, when I was talking to seniors, there was a lot of them that had moved here from like Guelph area and Mississauga area. And they were saying we would really like more senior stuff. There's only one community center here, is what they were saying. So we're almost back to the Senior Expo again. It's been about a year. So in a year, you guys have really grown.
Definitely. So the Senior Active Living Center designation allowed us to partner with the town and use their spaces. So these are, some of them are like we're in the Ruthven United Church, but most of our external spaces are in town facilities. So it puts us closer to the community, puts us closer to their, a lot of people can walk to where we're at, and it allows us to offer more. So our main location is where we are today. That's at Kingsville Community Church. We're here Tuesday and Thursday morning, and we fill every space. So we were at capacity. We have, the church itself is really busy with its activity. We got 2 mornings a week here, and that's it, right? So we've used every room, every corner, and if we were going to grow, we'd have to grow outside these walls. This opportunity to partner with the town, I think it's a good deal for them because they get senior programming by volunteers. It's not by staff, which costs the community money. It's all done by volunteers, and we have been able to just offer a lot more. And I'll tell you, our community, these people you're talking about moving in, a lot of them come here and want to give back. So this is a place where they can easily do that. They have great skill, they have great ideas. They're bringing in ideas from outside the community that they saw that they'd like to have happen here. And my role is to help facilitate that. Where can we do it? How can we promote it? And I make whatever skill or service or activity they want to do, I make it happen. So that's my role in the community center. It really is a by the community for the community center. It's kind of unique in that way.
And you had a ton of people. When I was coming in, I was like, where's it? I need to park.
Oh, the expo, yes.
No, here today.
Oh, today.
In the parking lot. I was like, it's far. I'm like, I gotta walk far. And
it's our quiet day. Yeah, this is our quiet day. Yeah, that's a good problem to have when you run out of parking because so many people want to be here.
Yeah. And I was talking to, before I came and met up with you, I was talking to Pastor Tom, and he was saying, oh, this is a quiet day here. That's right. We should have been here on Tuesday. And I was like, where would you put them? So that makes sense if you're saying like we've outgrown. I mean, yeah. It was like walking down a high school hall at lunchtime you know what I mean? Like
it is, yeah. And I got to tell you though, having this space, this is where the community part comes in because we have the cafe. You can come in and just sit in the cafe. You can read a newspaper. You will guaranteed meet somebody new to talk to. And I love that component over so many places where you just go and do your activity and leave.
Right.
People linger here for a reason. The reason the halls are filled is because they're chatting and they're sharing their lives and they're meeting new friends and they're making that community connection. You couldn't do that without this setup of having the cafe, the lobby, the way it is meant to linger. You are meant to hang out. This is a loiter. Come loiter.
Yes, it's a loitering area.
Yes.
Well, and kind of to take a little bit sidebar on that and just talking about loitering and getting together. So, I mean, we hear a lot about the younger generation, the millennials and stuff, and they don't even want to go out. They don't want to linger. Their parents are like, get out or meet a friend, right? Everything they do is online. But that is absolutely not the way that the older adult generation operates by any sense of the imagination, right? Like getting together, being with people is massive for them.
There's actually, a big predictor of health outcome is being in isolation. And if you're in isolation, your stress levels are higher, your connection to health and services is low. And that's something that our goal is to reach those people, give them a reason to get out. If they can't get out, try to connect with them in another way. Seniors in isolation is a big concern, especially because there is a bigger push for people to age at home. When you're aging at home, you don't have people around you the same as you do when you're in a senior's home, for instance. So we have people who are dedicated to connect with those people and get them, if possible, get them in the center. That would be ideal. But if not, make sure that they're still getting access to the care they need. That's a whole kind of branch of advocacy we offer that is run by a really dedicated volunteer here. And getting out of your house can be difficult, but once you're out, it's usually good, right? It's like going to the gym. You don't want to go, but once you're there, you're glad you're there. That's how it is kind of here too, especially in this time of year. It's kind of chilly and it's harder to get out.
To go out this time of year, but
Right.
You're right. Once you get out, and not to throw my father-in-law under the bus, but this is the conversation that I have all the time with my mother-in-law, who's a very outgoing person, right? And he's fun. But he's like, I would just rather stay at home. And she always says, we're going to go. And he doesn't want to go, but once he gets there, he's going to have fun. And it's true. He gets there and he has a ton of fun and he's talking with everybody, right?
I would say getting the men out, I know we have mostly women, and getting the men to come out is so much more difficult. They're not as social. They don't need the social quite the same, I think, as women do, or at least they don't claim to. Maybe they do and they just...
We have way more words to speak in a day, right?
We do. And I think we naturally want to gather, but getting the men out can be a little more difficult. And it's something I'm asking we do have quite a few men who come, but what would draw you out more? Because I know they need the connection. Yeah. They just don't admit it as much or seek it. They're going to suffer at home alone, maybe more than the women would. But that's something I've seen increase a lot too. The quantity of men that we have has actually gone up. I've been here almost 5 years. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but it's definitely something that's increased, whether the retirees are younger and so they are getting out more. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It is a different generation that's about to retire, right? So they're maybe a little more social than their fathers were. I don't know. But getting the men out can be difficult. I say drag them here because they will have fun.
Yes, they will. Hear that, wives? So if you're trying to drag your man everywhere, it's not just you. It's a lot of wives. And don't listen to him. Bring him out anyway.
Bring him out.
We'll have fun.
Yes. Make him come in and pick you up even. That's a nice way to, he'll drop you off and then make him come in and pick you up just so he gets a little feel of how comfortable and nice it is in here.
That's good advice.
Yes.
Plus there's coffee here,
There's
right?
free coffee. Yes.
Coffee and food.
Yes,
right?
Indeed. Yeah.
You can usually get a man to go out if you're going to feed him something.
And newspaper. You can sit and read the newspaper. It's a beautiful sunny spot. Our cafe is so inviting. It's such a nice place to be.
Yeah. And even this room that we're in right now is so nice. As I was saying, it's nice and toasty in here.
Yes.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about the other areas in the community that you guys are able to branch out to, where you have locations and what you do at those.
Yeah. So we have in the town, hamlet of Chatham is a part of Kingsville, but Chatham is its own little community. They have a brand new community center, the Gosfield Communications Community Center, brand new building, beautiful space, nice and bright. We have so much stuff going on there. There's Tai Chi every Wednesday morning. There's Step It Up classes, cooking classes, dancing classes. The Ursa Major, which is a day support for adults with disabilities, they partner with us to do accessibility programming, and they're offering a cafe there. So I'm really thrilled because I know the cafe is the community part, right? That's the lingering, loitering part. And they've just started a cafe there. So people can kind of come out and just be together in a setting that allows... You're not there to do something, you're just there to be. And you can play a game or you can chat and have a coffee. So they've just started the cafe. Chatham, great space, so much opportunity. We're really excited about the warm weather because it got a beautiful covered patio area. So we're excited about what we can do out there. Then we're at the Ruthven United Church twice a week for gentle exercise. Great space. They have a good fellowship room that's nice and open. We operate out of the Lions Hall, which is right in the middle of town. We do the Memory Cafe is there. So if you're helping somebody that's living with dementia, that's a great resource for both the person with dementia and the care providers. Twice a month there. They do GPAR, which is a gentle exercise there, Lions Hall. I feel like there's something else I'm missing at Lions Hall. Everything's happening so fast. I can't even keep it all in my head. Then Grovedale, which if you've not been to, that's the big, beautiful building down at the lake. We do social bingos there, dances, movies, ballroom dancing, cooking classes. Step It Up is twice a week there. So we do quite a lot in that space. Oh, guitar, what is it called? Acoustic showcase. Once a month we do kind of like a little concert. A free local musicians come and play, and it's free to come in and sit and have there's tea and coffee and listen to the performers, all free. Where else? So Lakeside Pavilion, we do a bunch of stuff there. Feel like maybe I'm missing. Oh, the arena. That's a new one. The Kingsville Arena. We have martial arts and self-defense coming very soon, twice a week.
Men.
Yes, it's really, yeah, it's a good place to get fitness, right? Balance and a good warm up of your muscles. The person who teaches that, Rob Luby, is recently retired. He's been doing 2 times a week here, but he's recently retired. He's like, I need more. And I'm like, all right, let's get you. And he wants to have, I think he wants to appeal to the younger adults, right? Maybe not, maybe still retirees, but here we get people who are definitely retired because we're open in the mornings.
Yeah.
You know, working people usually can't come, but we do a lot of intergenerational programming here. So this is where we can connect to the people who maybe aren't seniors yet. And he wants to do that. So that's starting in February, actually. So I don't know when this is airing, but, and then we do accessible pickleball there.
Oh, pickleball is huge.
Yeah. And this is an accessible one. So it's just for fun. Because there's lots of good pickleball where people are competitive, but because we have adults with disabilities that really just want to move their bodies and have a good time, we started an accessible pickleball, and it's literally just for fun. Go hit the ball, practice your skills, laugh a lot. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's good.
I can't believe how pickleball is just taken over.
Yeah. And indoor pickleball is tough because Kingsville doesn't have a gym. So, you know, anybody out there with money want to build a gym for the town.
Oh, a gym would be amazing.
We would welcome it. We would find you a space here if you wanted to build us a gym.
Yeah. There's lots of land.
There is. Yes.
I'm thinking, you know, that huge.
That's right.
Spot over there.
We already know how it would work and look. We just, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be hugely beneficial for the entire community.
It would. Sure. Yeah.
Now, you talked about like the intergenerational. Do you have, I mean, in my business, in real estate, I see a lot of families that are, this older adults are selling their home and they're getting larger properties and they're either moving in with their kids or they're building a tiny home and the kids are living in the main house and they're living in a smaller house. So the intergenerational is very, very big right now.
Yeah.
Right? So do you see a lot of that with the senior center where their adult family is involved and stuff like that, or they're bringing their grandkids, or? So
it's less the living side. I know totally what you're talking about. I have friends who have now moved in with their parents to benefit both, right? Yeah. It's a mutual benefit. Here it's a little different. What I find, like the role of social media is it'll be the adult children who see us on social media that tell their parents, hey, you need to come and get active. Or their parents have moved here to be closer to them and they don't know what's available, and their adult children are like, you got to get involved with the community center. Where the grandkids come in, we have a little less of that because we operate during the day and they're usually in school. But we do some things. We've done kids' clothing swaps. We've done bikes giveaways. We've done book giveaways. Their grandparents will bring their grandkids to the event or tell their neighbors who have kids come to the event. And it's definitely, you know, getting older adults and children together is a beautiful thing. Watching them, the older adults have so much patience for the kids that maybe the parents are, you know, working and frazzled, and you just see an extra level of attention given in these settings, whether they're the grandparents or just volunteers here that get to be part of helping a kid pick a bicycle that's never had one before. Like, whew, I got chills just thinking about, and being there watching the seniors and the kids' smiles and just being able to facilitate that is such a joy. You had a lucky job here. So that's kind of how I see it here. It's the seniors have a lot to give to the community. Really.
They do, and they really want to, and they really want to be involved in the community as well.
Absolutely.
I find that here in Windsor-Essex County, we have a lot of large families. So when like you're used to kind of just being around your family and stuff like that, that's your social network, and it's busy, right? Because you have very, very large families around here.
Right.
But with so many people moving here from the GTA, that's not their norm. Right? Like, I lived in London for quite a while. I lived in Hamilton before that, and going out to restaurants, community centers, being involved in activities, that was where your social life was, right? Because when you're living in the GTA, first of all, it's large, right? But there just isn't the big families the way that we have them out here,
Mm.
right? So with people moving from other areas as well, I can absolutely see that they're like, hey, I want to be involved in community. Where do I go? Because that would be their norm.
I think a lot of the seniors who are coming here from bigger urban areas, they're used to having a lot of options for what to do because there's a lot more there's more offered in bigger cities. And so that's a bit of a change for them. And the way we offer things is definitely small town. The way we offer things in Essex County is more community level. It's on a smaller scale. It's slower. And I think they're seeking that, though. I think they like that about the community, and they're a little bit surprised how small town it is, and that your neighbor's the one working the counter. It's not some nameless, faceless employee of something.
Yeah.
And that's the community side of it, is your neighbors are here doing this for you and for themselves. And the volunteering part of it is as much for them as it is for the people benefiting. And I see the embracing of people who come in here from out of town. They want the connection. Many of them are moving here to be closer to their children who live here already. But some of them come because of the weather. You would not know that today, but some of them come because they know it's warmer here, and it's as southern as you can get in the country, basically. So, they're surprised. They're surprised how different, if they've never lived in a small town, how different it is. And they're moving here for that. They're moving here to preserve that. One of the things I love to do is when we get new people, and I will put their information in the system, and I know right away from their phone number, which you can keep now from wherever. I'll know they're not local, right? Because you have a whatever number that I've never heard.
I'm like, start with 733,
right?
Or
519. Yeah, 519. If you're outside of 519. But I'll say, where are you coming from? How long have you been here? And why did you choose here? And I just love hearing the reasons that they picked to come here. And it varies. And I'm sure in real estate, you get the same. Why are they moving? Why are they choosing this area instead of, 2 hours up the road that way? And it's always different. It's not the same story over and over. And it's really quite fascinating. And we are getting and attracting a diverse and interesting group of people who want to come and be part of our community.
We absolutely are. And you know what? A lot of them too, they're coming down here from like up north and other parts of the province. And they're camping here over the summer. So they're like renting trailers, because we've got some really great campgrounds that are very, very
Airbnbs,
spiffy, very high end, right?
Yeah.
And so they stay here all summer, and they're thinking, hey, we've been coming down here every summer, but when we retire, this is where we want to live.
Right.
Right. And I mean, they also love the birds. Right.
Birds are a big thing, yeah.
The birds are a very big thing.
I think, and it is a trade-off. You do have to, there are some things you're not going to find in the small towns that are in big cities, but we're also 45 minutes away from a big city. So you get the value of that right there without maybe the bustle and hustle that you want to escape from the city. Yeah. And one of the roles of the community center, bring it back to the center for a minute, bringing those city services to the community out here. There's a lot of, the health units and Canadian Mental Health, all these bigger associations. There's so many that we deal with that have city-centric offices. They can't have offices in every small town. That's way too much overhead. But we have space here, and we give them the room to come and bring those services out here. And so we're connecting the community to those city services. So even though you don't have it down the road, it's going to be here in your community at some point. We bring the mobile clinic out here. And I would say that's probably like a good chunk, a third of what we do is connecting city services to rural residents here and making them available to people who can't just travel to the city really easily. So it's a big part of what we do.
That's amazing, because if you're traveling into the city and you're going to an appointment, that's an entire day.
Yes.
Right? Like, you're going all the way into the city, you're sitting there, you're waiting. Well, now you need to get something to eat. So you're going out for lunch. While you're in the city, you might as well go to the mall or return something that
you feel like you need to make it a day.
Yeah, you have to make it a day, right? You have the list of things the next time I go into the city.
That's right.
But I mean, that's a whole day in the city. Right?
And it's unavoidable. You need a specialist appointment. It's unavoidable. But the specialists are only 45 minutes down the road, which is kind of comforting. Yeah. You're not so rural here that you can't get to it. Yeah. But I know people that want to go to, having the Alzheimer's Society here doing Memory Cafe. That's like a maintenance service that people want to go to multiple times, and they don't have to travel to the city for that. And they can come twice a month and come and get the same access here in their small town, thanks to the centers making that space available. So, there is a way to spread out the service without all the extra cost.
And that's amazing. And the Alzheimer's service. So I was actually yesterday talking with a couple, and they were going through, the life change with one of the spouses. And they said that the Alzheimer's Society has been so instrumental in their life, and they don't know what they would do without the Alzheimer's Society, and just having a place to go, a place to learn, not just for the spouse that's dealing with, the new change in their life,
Right.
but also for their spouse that's married to them and is trying to help them through this. And I mean, their whole life is changing together, so they're growing and learning. And the Alzheimer's Society, they had so many things to say about how that has been so great for their process they've been going to.
And sometimes there's more services often for the person going through the thing than the people who have to support them. Mm-hmm. And again, the center has these nice, free, easy programs where you can come and de-stress, come and relax, get a break. They'll get someone in to watch, there'll be some day support, and then they can come here for free for a couple of hours and just take care of themselves.
Yes.
That's, so important, because I think they can easily lose themselves in their identity of caregiver.
Yeah.
And they don't have a lot of extra to give. So this is where they can come and just receive.
Yes.
It's tons of people come here to give. They give their time, they give their skill set, but there's no expectation. You can just come to the community center and be here, and your cup will be filled, right?
Yeah.
So you can go back and give that to the loved one who you're supporting.
That's amazing. And it is very important to, if you're a caregiver, I mean, people don't think about the toll that it takes on them, but I've sat with many people, and, they've had their mom they brought into their home. The mom has dementia, and my mom, I think of her, and she's done everything. And then they went to the nursing home, and after my grandma passed, my mom was like, I didn't realize how much it affected my health, how much it affected my, just my mind and my time. And, and she had to kind of take a step back and take care of her. Right. But coming here, and I mean, if you had a spouse and you're at that age, I mean, that's a whole life change. Right. So to have that time to pour into yourself and know that your spouse is also being taken care of and enjoying themselves, that's absolutely amazing.
I would say a lot of people that come here, or I'll meet them, because this is my day job. I have another job as a deputy mayor. I meet a lot of people. There's so many people who are taking care of senior parents, like your mom. Yeah. So many people. And then when that finally ends and they have all this time, it can be really unsettling. Mm-hmm. So they retire. These are retired people. And then they immediately are working full time, taking care of somebody. And the retirement kind of goes under the radar then, because you're busy. Yeah. And then suddenly, which death is often sudden, or even if it's not, it's still the emptiness is sudden of your day. Suddenly they don't know what to do. And they kind of miss the edging into retirement that often happens. Mm-hmm. And my immediate response to them is, you need the community center. You need to come in here. I have one lady who came, and she's in her mid to late 70s, and she was taking care of her mom who's over 100. Wow. So she's herself, deserving of care. Yeah. I don't know how she did this, but all her life she was taking care of her sister's children, because her sister passed young, and then her parents. And that was her life, was taking care of her family. And here she's 77 and finally has no one to take care of. And I know she felt lost. And I said, please just come in. And she didn't know anybody. I'm like, just come in, give it a try. I'm sure you will. She sat down at our milk bag table. Milk bag ladies, we call them. They take milk bags. You can bring your milk bags in if you have them. And they cut them up and they make them into bags and mats that are given to people in need. It's a simple little, it's mostly social. There's work involved, but it's mostly social. So she comes in, this lady comes into the milk bags, and the milk bag ladies, they sit around a table. Anybody can come in and just join them and sit at the table. They will put you to work. There's weaving and cutting and all of these things to make bags and mats for people who live on the streets. And so I bring in this lady that I know well, and I say, hey, everybody, this is so-and-so, and she's going to sit here. And immediately she meets somebody who lives down the street from her. Oh, they didn't know each other. They live on the same street in a small town, which is a shocker, but it happens. And now I know they look out for each other. Yeah. And I know that they're checking in on each other. And that simple thing she's never missed a day. She's in here every Tuesday doing milk bags. And even though she had this big hole, it was able to be filled by people who are in similar situations as her.
Right. People need that. Again, like you get so involved with being the caretaker.
Well, you could easily slip into isolation now because being the caretaker forces you to take them to appointments and you're getting out of your house because you have to make sure they're cared for. But when that goes, you could, the slip to isolation is really fast if you don't fill that with something. And, having a place where there's no obligation, there's no cost, because most of these people are living on fixed incomes, is amazing. I feel honored to be able to be part of it and have a place where you can not only access services that you need for yourself, but just the well-being of being connected to other people. It's simple, but it's also, I think, one of the most important things. It lowers your stress, and it immediately, if there's a problem, now your neighbor down the street knows you and you can call upon them and, hey, I've fallen and I can't get up kind of help or something. You don't know, right? You just don't know, having people in your community, in your circle.
Absolutely.
It's lovely.
Now, you had said earlier about having kind of like a community care with isolation, and there's somebody who's running that. Is if you think, hey, there's a lady down the street from me and I don't see her very often, is there someone that you can call and they maybe go check up on them and give them some?
So I would definitely say, if you're talking about, if you have concern for a neighbor, there is, EMS has a thing where they will check on them and make sure. At the end of the day, we're community level services. We're not if somebody needs a level of care, we don't offer that. We offer connection to that. But I know EMS, it would be probably, if you have a neighbor that you're concerned is not okay, like they're not getting food properly because they can't get out, or they're not getting medical care, EMS has a check at home program where they will go and make sure that the person is okay and then immediately get them into a home if they need it. Like there is a well-run program for that. And that's your first call if you're really concerned. If this is a neighbor you chat with that could use more social, could use some connection, I would say, 1, bring them here, be the facilitator, or 2, come and get some information and bring it to them. Once they're connected with us, if they're like, I'm trying to have an example of where our advocacy has come in. I think we have a veteran who was connected here by a neighbor who really cares about him and brought him in, and he accesses our foot care and some of our services. But our advocacy person was able to connect him to some veteran benefits that he didn't necessarily know he was entitled to.
Oh, wow.
And this provided him with funding to do some things at his house that he needed. So that was amazing. Our advocacy person's aware of government programs that for funding for, maybe you need accessible things in your home. You need to apply for different programming. This person, our advocacy person, is fascinating, expert at navigating government forms, which, if you've ever done, is not something just difficult for seniors, right? And she will sit with them and fill out these forms with them, which can be daunting and difficult.
That's amazing.
Right? But they kind of have to be here already. I know even the church is starting a new program where they're trying to connect. I mean, this is more directed at the church members, but keep them connected with community. If you're sitting out there and you're watching this podcast and you have someone down the street, reach out to them yourself and just make that connection and let them know that if they are in trouble, they can call upon you. Or maybe they need help getting that big giant recycle bin to the road. And just
they're the same size,
right?
Bin.
Just be willing to do that for them. Bring it out and bring it back to their house. There's some simple little thing that you can do, and then you're connected with them. So if there is a problem, then you'll know if they haven't been out in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Can I check on them? Like, it really is. Community has to happen at the community level too. We're fortunate here, but we can't be that everything. There's 8,000 homes just in Kingsville.
Yeah.
I do not have room for 8,000 cars, but connect with the people in your community. And if you can recommend they come here, we do have something like, if it's called the Links to Wellbeing. It's a social prescribing. So if somebody is almost any profession, or even a neighbor, but if you recommend someone to come here, that's a prescription of social. You need to be prescribed social. So if your doctor sees that you're in good health, but boy, you're lonely and you need to get out, you prescribe the community center. And what that allows me to do now is, do you need money for a taxi? I have funds that I can pay for you to get here. There's no parking. No, I'm just kidding. So get your taxi if that's the barrier for you getting out.
Yeah.
If we have a fee for a program, which we don't typically, but for instance, we took a bus trip to watch a play. The bus costs money, so we collected money to help cover the cost. But through this social prescribing, we were able to help pay for some of the people that didn't have the means to attend with us. You know, when I say if you refer somebody and there's a barrier, reach out to me, please, because I will try to remove that barrier. If I can't, there's a town program as well. Town has a rec for all, and we qualify for that. So if somebody wanted to do our bus trip and they qualify, you have to be pretty low income for that. Whereas ours income's not necessarily, we don't ask your income.
Yeah.
We just is it a barrier for you to get here because you need a ride? We'll get a taxi for you. It's just we all have to look out for each other.
We do. We absolutely all have to look out for each other. We are all in this world together, and we have to look out for each other.
Right.
So quickly before we go here, I have two other quick topics I'd like to talk about. So one is the Seniors Expo.
Yes.
That's coming up in March, right?
March 11th. Wednesday, March 11th, at the Grovedale, which is the big building down by the lake. It's 103 Park Street, from 9 until noon. It's a morning thing. It's over quick, but it's a jam-packed 3 hours. And then we do a speaker series for an hour after that. The speaker series requires registration. So if you want to attend, because we only have so much room for that, but the expo's open. First 75 people get a grab bag filled with, kind of informational and fun things. There's always lots of treats in the bag. There's vendors or exhibitors, I would call them, because we're not really selling anything there. We're really just giving information. Yeah. There's the opportunities to volunteer. There's access to services. There's, local services you would pay for, but there's also those agencies that are city-centric. They come out. You can find out. They offer so much stuff that, people are usually not aware of just the amount of stuff that's available. So you have to be senior focused, and we are packed to the brim. I make people share tables because I want to get as much information in there as possible, but there's only so much room. And come on out for the Senior Expo, March 11th, 9 until noon.
Yeah, it's definitely a great time, and just tons and tons of information.
Door prizes, yes. Free coffee, snacks.
Yeah, lots of door prizes.
Yes.
If you want to come early and be one of those first 75 people, get there early because they start lining up.
They do, yes.
Which is really great. And this is the third or fourth?
Fifth.
This year.
Fifth year in this format. I think that, I've been here 5 years, so this is the fifth one I've been part of, but I think there was variations of it, or they did it with the town at the arena. So you might, there were seniors focused things before, but this format where we really, you're not going to find somebody selling crafts. This isn't that kind of expo. It's really about services and information for seniors, and you will learn something. Guaranteed. You'll be out here going, oh, I didn't know that was in my community. And it might be a volunteer experience. It might be a service you need or might not need right now, but in 6 months, you'll be like, oh, I'm so glad that I learned about this service. Yeah, it's great.
You should definitely come out to it. I will be there. I'm very excited for it again this year. And then what's in the future for the community center?
We have our 10-year anniversary coming up in April. We're still planning on what we're doing for that. Probably a big party of some sort, which maybe we'll definitely have music, and really just a reason to gather and celebrate. I think we have some people who've been here for 10 years since the beginning, and they help form what this has become, and they want everybody to know. Everybody here wants everybody to know how great it is. This is a very open and welcoming place. Aside from that, we have had over 100 people join us in the last 2 months.
Wow.
For a small community center, that's a lot. And we're just okay, let's just go with the flow and see where it takes us. And I'll tell you this, the community decides how this goes. I do not. I'm the executive director, but I do not direct them. I facilitate where they're directing me. Yeah. And if they want something new, that's where we'll go. Some things come and go. It's great for a while, and then the interest fades and we move on to the next thing. There's no issue about change. That's actually something really great about it, that it can come and go. But as we get more new people, I'm pretty sure we'll get some new ideas. And the ballroom dancing is like brand new, right? Somebody came in and was like, I want to do ballroom dancing. All right, let's do it. And it's happening, and we're doing ballroom dancing. So
Oh yeah, the older generation, they just love to dance, and they have all the skills too.
they're amazing.
They are.
Like I went and took video to promote it. I was like, this is so beautiful.
The older adults definitely like to dance. They're all good at that. They got all the footloose foot movements.
That's good for them too, right? Your brain and your body moving to the music. It's lovely.
Yeah, he's there with the walker, but all of a sudden the music comes on and he can dance. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for everything that you do in the community here in Kingsville, because really it's life-changing, and I'm sure for a lot of people it is prolonging their life with a better quality of life, as well as saving some lives too, because people are like, community, like you said, it's so necessary, right? And
Right.
it gives you a sense of being. And when you can pull somebody out of isolation, that definitely helps them live a longer and better quality of life altogether.
I definitely feel blessed to be in this position. And every day I wake up grateful that I get to come and do this. It really is a very easy job to do in terms of the payback from the community. And, thank you for helping promote us and being part of our expo. We're lucky to have you, and lucky to have the spaces that we're able to be in.